Right now, you're not losing because you're worse. You're losing because you're playing fair. Fair is the story told by the side with the scoreboard. Fair is the costume used by the side with the whistle. Fair is the lullaby that keeps you polite while they steal the clock. Machiavelli never competed fairly. He competed on terrain, on timing, on terms. When you fight on their terrain, under their timing, by their terms, you are donating outcomes. You think the answer is to work harder, to be nicer. That's not the dark advantage, that's the polite death. The dark advantage is simple. Change the game faster than they can notice the rules moved. You select terrain, timing, terms. Get those right and talent becomes a multiplier. Get those wrong and talent becomes a leash you pull while they ride. Rule 1 of never competing fairly. Decline the first fight offered. The first fight offered is always the fight they win. Price where they're rich, speed where they're fast, credentials where they're crowned. You don't enter through the front door to impress the guards. You open your own door and move the party there. How? Asymmetry. Asymmetry is the art of turning a contest sideways so your weaknesses vanish and your strengths stop asking permission. Asymmetry has 3 levers you can pull today. Terrain, where the contest happens. Tempo, how fast and in what rhythm it unfolds. Terms, what counts as a win and what the build looks like. Terrain first. Stop walking into their arena and complaining about the lighting. If they live on panels, move the fight to paper. If they live in email, move the fight to the calendar. If they live in timelines, move the fight to outcomes. If they live on credentials, move the fight to results. You don't need to be better at their thing. You need to make their thing irrelevant. Tempo next. He who chooses pace chooses panic. They speed the call to make you plead. You slow by a third and make time obey. They drag decision for weeks. You compress with 2 true options and a deadline. Rush rate or standard. Your tempo is a frame that makes their urgency look unserious. Now terms. Fair fights use vague goals and feelings. Dark fights use meters and gates. Your terms make debate smaller and decision heavier. You are not louder, you are harder to move. Stop confusing unfair advantage with cheating. Cheating is fear in a costume. Unfair advantage is selection. Selection means you pick the battlefield where your side of the knife is sharpest. Selection means the rules are public, but they're yours. Selection means you smile while you refuse to be priced by a rubric that never produced a ruler. Here's how your competitor beats you without working harder. They don't outthink you. They outframe you. They are not smarter. They are earlier. They pick terrain. Let's hop on a quick call. Their arena. They set tempo. We're moving fast. Their clock. They define terms. Send your process. They're scoring. And you comply because you're polite. Because you still believe you win by being assessed. No, you win by being selected. Selection happens via gates, not speeches. Gate 1, access. 2 windows a week. No signer, no meeting. Deposit before calendar. Exceptions priced or scheduled. Openings are Tuesday at 2 or Thursday at 10. Gate 2, scope. Outcomes listed like stone. Everything else is phase 2 or an add-on. You don't donate edge to look generous. Generosity without gates is how empires drown. Gate 3, tempo. You speak in verdicts, 5 to 7 words, then silence. Rush rate or standard. Silence invoices the room. They pay with decisions. Gate 4, price. You go first with a number that makes your spine sit up. You do not defend it. You trade scope, never rate. We can reduce scope to match your number or keep scope at my rate. Gate 5. Narrative. You do not apply to be liked. You publish outcomes and openings. The market learns faster from stone than from speeches. This is the dark advantage playbook in the modern court. Stop auditioning. Start selecting. No, it's accurate. People who want outcomes don't need your biography. They need your law. Your law is 3 sentences and a silence. Quiet. Machiavelli would tell you, a prince who expects mercy from crowds becomes their pastime. A ruler who manages access becomes their gravity. Access is your first asymmetric weapon. Because everyone else is selling availability, you will sell scarcity, not coyness. Schedule. 2 windows weekly. Publish them. Protect them. Missed appointments move to the back. Reschedules pay. No deposit, no date. Watch the unfair effect. Rooms slow when you enter. They have decisions ready. They have budgets named because they learned your oxygen costs. Tempo is your second asymmetric weapon. Everyone else answers on inhale. You answer on exhale. They sprint. You lower your pitch by a note. They flood with context. You dry the river with 2 doors. They interrupt. You stop, look, finish once, then end if mocked. Terms are your third. Everyone else explains process to buy approval. You gate process behind payment to buy control. We discuss goals, constraints, and budget. They either reveal seriousness or reveal theater. Either revelation pays you, with a wire or with time you didn't waste. Information asymmetry is your fourth. You ask noun-heavy questions that force their mask off. You ask, then stop. People confess to silence like it's a priest. You don't reward their confession with a TED Talk. You reward it with a binary and an invoice. Reputation asymmetry is your fifth. You do not defend your name in rumor rooms. You publish outcomes where truth is cheap to tell. That whisper is free marketing bought by endings. Endings you enforced while they begged. You want the cold core of the never compete fairly creed? Compete on selection, not in comparison. Comparison is a trap disguised as transparency. Line up specs, argue features, perform value for people who never plan to pay. Selection is a door with a guard. Fit is measured by outcomes, not interviews. Your guard is your terms. Your guard has a calm voice and a short vocabulary. Teams love free heroes. Empires love paid ones. Let's tear down the 5 myths that keep you polite while the room picks your pockets. Myth 1. The market is meritocratic. Reality, the market is metricocratic. Metrics are chosen by the side that frames first. Choose your metrics or be priced by theirs. Myth 2. Transparency builds trust. Reality, results build trust. Transparency drains leverage. Talk less before payment. Publish more after delivery. Myth 3. The best offer wins. Reality, the best frame wins. The room's first story is the room's last decision. Tell yours by actions, not paragraphs. Myth 4. Speed shows commitment. Reality, controlled speed shows control. Rush on your rate or at your pace. Otherwise, the faster you move, the cheaper you get. Myth 5. Being easy to work with is a superpower. Reality, it is for the other side. Be predictable, not pliable. Predictable is solid. Pliable is disposable. You want tactics that bite? Use these 5 dark advantage switches the moment you feel yourself sliding into a fair comparison. Switch 1. Audience to authority. You reply, who signs funds? Refuse to sing for a committee without oxygen. Switch 2. Hours to outcome. They ask for your hourly breakdown. Compete on finish lines, not on fatigue. Switch 3. Value essay to value gate. You reply, process follows deposit. Diagnostic is X. Make curiosity pay rent. Switch 4. Fair match to 2 doors. You reply, scope or date. The fairest game is the one with fewer lies. 2 doors kill excuses. Switch 5. Urgency to invoice. They rush and stack messages. You reply, rush exists at triple. Price hysteria until it becomes honesty. None of this is cruelty. It's custody. Custody of time, custody of terms, custody of self. Machiavelli wrote for rulers whose survival depended on denying bad frames with good walls. Your walls are sentences, short, final, repeated without apology. Rush rate or standard? That's phase 2 or an add-on. You will feel the old itch to seem nice. Nice is the discount code stamped on your forehead. Remove it. You will feel the old itch to explain. Because is a bribe you pay to be allowed to be clear. Stop paying. You will feel the old itch to hurry. Hurry is a rope they sell you to pull their wagon. Drop it. Never compete fairly means you wake up and decide before the day touches you how you will be measured. That decision lives in your calendar, not in your feelings. So you build the calendar that won't betray you under heat. 2 windows weekly published Monday morning. A diagnostic slot at a posted fee. A rule, deposit before calendar. A rule, no signer, no meeting. A rule, changes are add-ons. A rush multiplier you can say without flinching. A waitlist form with 3 noun-heavy questions. You write them once, you live them always. You don't argue them, you invoice them. You want proof this transforms? Check the future from here. Week 1. Pushback. You price it. They call you rigid. You call it policy. They're angry because your oxygen used to be free. Week 2. Sorting. The wrong rooms stop calling. Your calendar looks quieter. Good. Quiet is not danger. Quiet is gates. Week 3. Whisper. They teach each other how to treat you. Week 4. Wait. Your numbers are heavier. Your sentences are shorter. Your exits are faster. Your pace slows rooms. That is the unfair curve. You're not trying to beat them at their game. You're starving their game and feeding yours. To hold this when heat arrives, you need a creed. Say it low until your bones believe it. I don't sell my peace to buy your approval. I don't sell my hours to buy your hope. I don't sell my standards to buy your story. I choose to reign. I choose timing. Again, breathe out when you say it. Lower your pitch by a note. Count to 5 after the last word. That silence is where your old life ends and your new leverage begins. In the next part, we'll turn the dark advantage into precision. The asymmetric moves for sales, hiring, partnerships, and public fights. How to rig terrain, steal clocks, rewrite scoring in real time, and make every no raise your rate. Watch closely. Right now, you're not outskilled. You're outframed. They're not better. They're earlier. They pick terrain, steal the clock, write the scoring before you even arrive. And because you're polite, you accept the venue, accept the pace, accept the rubric. You call it professionalism. They call it permission. This is where that ends. You will arrange for wins. Here is the dark advantage in the wild. Precise, repeatable, boring in the best way. You'll deploy 3 switches in every arena. Move the terrain, steal the tempo, rewrite the terms. Sales first, because that's where most people get domesticated. They invite you into the RFP zoo. Long cages, free labor, applause for tricks. You don't audition for treats. Terrain. No RFP responses. Diagnostic is X. You relocate the contest to your paid gate. Tempo. 2 windows, Tuesday 2 or Thursday 10. Decision Friday. You compress the timeline into your metronome. Terms. We don't sell hours. We sell outcome A by date B under constraint C. Changes are add-ons. You remove the places they like to hide. Scope or date. Silence after each. They'll tell you everything you need or disqualify themselves for free. Hiring. Whether you're the one hiring or the one being hired has the same traps. Front door interviews for backdoor decisions. Endless culture fits. Homework that isn't paid. If you're hiring, stop competing for talent in the commodity pool. Change terrain. Short paid audition. Real deliverable. Steal tempo. Offer leaves by Friday. Rewrite terms. Compensation bands published. If you're the candidate, you stop being graded by drama queens. Change terrain. I don't do multi-round puzzle circuits. Steal tempo. I'm holding 2 offers. Rewrite terms. I choose teams with decision owners in the interview. You aren't entitled. You're expensive. There's a difference. Partnerships. The place collab kills empires. Vague scope, infinite meetings, soft promises, no teeth. Change terrain. Pilot first. 30 days. Rewrite terms. Revenue share only after minimum retainer clears. If those answers wobble, you're not in a partnership. You're in fan fiction. Marketing. Everyone shouts. Dark advantage is to own a rule, not a slogan. Rules move markets because they're cheap to spread and expensive to ignore. Change terrain. Move from feature fights to category law. We don't do X. Steal tempo. Cadence beats campaigns. Publish 1 outcome every week, 1 policy every Monday, 1 opening every Thursday. Rewrite terms. Force trade-offs in public language. Your feed becomes stone tablets, not diary entries. You don't ask to be viral. You make it expensive to be wrong about you. Product. Fair is trying to impress everyone. Unfair is water cutting through rock. Change terrain. Pick the smallest winnable hill with the steepest cliff. A niche where incumbents won't kneel. Steal tempo. Ship the meanest definition that wins true users, not the biggest demo that wins applause. Rewrite terms. Your roadmap is a ruler, not a wish list. 3 promises a quarter. Support success. Unfair is teaching rooms your oxygen has a price. Change terrain. No DM support, 1 channel. Steal tempo. Response within X hours under Plan Y. Rewrite terms. Out-of-scope requests become add-ons, playbooks published. Procurement. They weaponize bureaucracy to grind you to a discount. Smile. Move the fight. Change terrain. We use our paper. Steal tempo. Turnaround in 48 hours with signer present. Silence. Let the math talk. Public fights, panels, town halls, Twitter dog piles. Fair is letting the mob choose the topic and the tone. Unfair is choosing both. No owner, no debate. Steal tempo. Answer in verdicts, not essays. Answer A. We're off mission. Exits are sermons with longer half-lives than clapbacks. Competitor head-to-heads. Never compare feature by feature on their slide. Steal tempo. Decision Friday. Rewrite terms. Refund if KPI isn't hit under your roles and hours. Pricing. The most polite people lose here. You will not. Anchors. You go first with a number that makes your spine sit up. Not to shock, to set orbit. Range. Offer 3 true tiers. Make the middle the obvious choice. Guardrails. No retroactive discounts. No MFN. Escalators. Raise floor quarterly. Rush is triple. Scripts when they push. We don't discount. We reduce scope or we hold rate. This is the price. Operations. Unfair advantage is not a stunt. It's a schedule. Every Monday, gates. Openings, Tuesday 2, Thursday 10. Every Thursday, endings. 1 thread closed early when the law is mocked. Every Friday, floor. 1 minimum raised by 10%. You want asymmetric moves you can memorize under stress. Scope or date. Best or earliest. Speed or price. Rush rate or standard. That's phase 2 or an add-on. That's incorrect. We're off mission. If you can't say them without reaching for a because, practice until your mouth stops trying to bribe the room. Unfair research. Because dark advantage is informed, not impulsive. Fair is guessing. Unfair is mapping. Before every high-stakes room, gather 4 facts. Decision owner, budget range, hidden constraint, real deadline. If you don't have 3 or 4, you don't have a meeting. You have theater. You say, rush exists at triple. You say, my offer expires Friday. Machiavelli again, but without cosplay. He didn't advise cruelty, he advised custody with theater. Appear approachable, be gated. Appear generous, be scheduled. Appear flexible, be welded to mission. Unfair equals structure in public, steel in private. You worry about ethics, good. Cheating is desperation, selection is discipline. You won't lie, you won't defraud. You won't harm. You'll select terrain, tempo, and terms that protect outcomes and price manipulation out of the room. Let's run live stacks so your nervous system learns. Investor stack, low anchor, advice, clock. We can do half now. Terrain, what check size today? Silence. Terms, we start after funds clear. Either they wire or they reveal theater. Both outcomes pay. Enterprise stack, procurement, scope creep, net 60. Terrain, process follows deposit. They either respect treasury or self-select out. Public stack, consensus, virtue, interruption. Terrain, who owns the decision? Tempo, answer, A. Terms, at second interruption, end. Stand, leave. You won the architecture. Your metric sheet, because feelings lie and fairness flatters. Selection rate, percent of opportunities you accepted that had signer plus budget named. Goal greater than 80%. Scope integrity, percent of delivery without unpriced changes. Goal 100%. Rush capture, percent of urgent requests priced at rush. Goal rising. Exit enforcement, percent of meetings ended at the second mock or second interruption. Goal weekly. Floor integrity, percent of deals at or above your minimum. Goal 100%. You're being captured. Correct in 24 hours. Raise the floor, add a clause, shut a corridor, end a thread, publish an outcome. Drills that make it bone. Door drill. Every ask gets a binary before a sentence. Say it. Silence for 5. Stone breath. 3 times a day, exhale before you speak, drop your pitch a note, cut your sentence to 7 words or fewer. Don't. Offer. Read your proposal out loud, half speed. Remove 1 apology line. Raise 1 number 10%. Send. Walk away for 10 minutes. Exit rep. End 1 meeting early this week when law is mocked. Your nervous system learns endings don't explode. Rooms learn teasing you is expensive. If blank, tomorrow is already stealing from you. Handling no the unfair way. Turn it into gravity. They decline, you do not chase. Clarify. If cost remains the priority, X fits. Withdraw. No follow-ups. No proof drops. Vanish into work. Publish. Ship an outcome elsewhere. Short. Stone. Raise. Floor goes up a notch. Return. Only when your existence creates discomfort. No gloat. Presence is enough. This is not aggression. This is architecture. Because the point of never competing fairly is not to humiliate opponents. It's to remove the places where you used to humiliate yourself. Auditioning, over-explaining, chasing, working for free, hoping the room will change without paying for the privilege. Good, good, good. And you'll be sought out by the rooms that matter. The ones that bring signers, bring budgets, bring deadlines, bring respect. Say the creed again so your bones memorize it. I don't sell my peace to buy your approval. I don't sell my hours to buy your hope. I don't sell my standards to buy your story. I choose terrain, I choose timing. In the final part, we'll pressure test the playbook in street fights. Competitors undercutting you, clients shopping your number, managers laundering scope through guilt, public pylons, and the exact exits and upgrades that convert chaos into control. Then close with the command your rivals copy because it rearranges rooms in a single breath. Watch closely. Right now, you're not in a tournament. You're in a marketplace of frames. Fairness is the costume. Frames are the currency. And rooms don't pay the most talented. They pay the one who set the terrain, stole the clock, and wrote the bill. Because this is where "never compete fairly" stops being a quote and becomes a reflex. This is where we pressure test your spine against real fire. Competitors undercutting you, clients shopping your number, managers laundering scope through guilt, procurement grinding you down, public pylons, and the exits and upgrades that turn chaos into control. You don't beat them by being nicer. You beat them by moving the fight before they notice the floor changed. Scenario 1, the undercutter. They copy your features, undercut your price, and smile like charity. Your old self defends with paragraphs. Your new self rearranges the room. Publish 3 case studies, X by Y under Z. No names, no heat. Make outcomes the arena, and most imitations die at the gate. Tempo. Decision Friday. They are clocks you own. Terms. We don't discount. We can reduce scope to match your number or keep scope at my rate. Silence. Every time you refuse to explain and return to doors, the room learns. You don't run races you didn't draw. You aren't a product on a shelf. You are a window. That closes. Terrain. Diagnostic is X. You move them out of the candy aisle and into a paid room with a clock. Tempo. 2 windows, Tuesday 2 or Thursday 10. Terms. Offer expires Friday. Every expiration you enforce raises your rate invisibly. Every soft extension sells your spine for relief. Scenario 3, boss scope laundry. Be a team player. Take the extra scope. Terrain. I don't do promises in hallways. Terms. I'll accept with title and comp, or keep current scope. If they moralize, we all sacrifice, you don't debate halos. My team play is outcomes. Let your absence teach faster than your speeches. Scenario 4, procurement grind. They want your process, 2 more items at no cost and net 60. Terrain. Process follows deposit. If they invoke policy, you answer with yours. Policies are peers. Let math negotiate while you stay quiet. Scenario 5, public pylon. They bait you on stage or online. Terrain. Who owns the decision? Tempo. Answer A. Stand. Leave. Exits are sermons that outlive rebuttals. Scenario 6, the nostalgia discount. We go way back. That's phase 2 or an add-on. Terrain. Pilot Island, 30 days. Tempo. Weekly checkpoint. Terms. Revenue share after minimum retainer. Partnership is a boat with oars and a keel. If they bring applause instead of oars, you don't sail.
Scenario 8. Talent War. Competitor dangles offers at your team. You don't win by matching dopamine with desperation. Terrain. Mission clarity. Role clarity. Terms. Comp bands published. Milestone equity, not mystery equity. Selection over comparison even here. You won't outbid infinite noise. You'll outselect with a road that pays in reality. Now the meta moves, the mechanics that make all of this automatic when heat rises. Meta 1. Pre-frame brief. Before any high-stakes room, write 5 lines. Owner equals, budget equals, constraint equals, deadline equals, 2 doors you'll offer, blank, / blank. If two blanks remain empty, you don't have a meeting, you have theater. Meta 2, two-sentence law. Every decision you send lives in 2 sentences max, 1 link, 1 date. If they need a novel, they need a signer. Meta 3, offer geometry. 3 tiers, true differences, obvious middle. Floor you can say without flinching. Rush triple. Annual prepay saves X. No retroactive discounts. No MFN. No unpriced exceptions. Meta 4, silence discipline. Say the line. Hold 5 seconds. You are not being rude. You are letting gravity work. Meta 5, exit reflex. Second mock, second interruption. Exit. Practice until your body moves before your fear speaks. Dark advantage isn't cruelty, it's custody. Custody of what? Of the clock, tempo, of the map, terrain, of the bill, terms, of your breath, silence, of your end, exit. The rooms that needed you cheap will say that. The rooms that need results will call it clarity. Let's give you the unfair scoreboard that never flatters. Terrain capture rate. Percentage of engagements run on your process. Diagnostic to outcome to add-ons. Target greater than 80%. Tempo control index. Average days from first call to decision. Target falling. Terms enforcement score. Percent of deals with deposit before calendar, rush priced, net 30 or better. Target 100%. Door conversion. Percent of asks answered with a binary that led to a decision. Target rising. Price integrity. Percent of work delivered at or above floor. Target 100%. Exit to engagement ratio. Number of meetings ended at the second mock per quarter / total engagements. Target non-zero. After no gravity. Percentage of inbound inquiries referencing outcomes you published post-decline. Target weekly. You're being captured. Correct in 24 hours. Raise the floor. Add a clause. Close a corridor. End a thread. Publish an outcome. Now a 7-day field challenge to weld this into bone. Day 1. Gates live. Publish 2 windows. Openings Tuesday 2, Thursday 10. No exceptions. If one must exist, price it. Day 2. Floors up. Raise one minimum by 10%. Practice saying it once, then silence for 5. Day 3. Doors first. Every request gets a binary before a sentence. Silence. Day 4. Exit rep. End one meeting early at the second mock. Not angry, surgical. Day 5. Diagnostic only. Refuse free discovery once. Offer the paid diagnostic, collect, or sort. Day 6. Evidence drop. Publish one outcome. X by Y under Z. No names, no heat. Stone. If blank, your calendar is a liar, fix it tomorrow. Edge cases? Government, regulated procurement, legacy enterprise with immovable paper. You still move something. When the contract is theirs, the calendar is yours. When the calendar is theirs, the scope is yours. When the scope is theirs, the price is yours. When nothing is yours, the exit is yours. You will not always win the room. You will always keep your crown. Handling, though, the unfair way, again because this is where empires grow. They decline. You do not chase. Clarify. If cost remains the priority, X fits. Withdraw. No follow-ups, no proof drops. Vanish into results. Publish. Ship a case study. X by Y under Z. No names, no heat. Stone. If blank, your calendar is a liar. Fix it tomorrow. Edge cases? Government, regulated procurement, legacy enterprise with immovable paper. You still move something. When the contract is theirs, the calendar is yours. When the calendar is theirs, the scope is yours. When the scope is theirs, the price is yours. When nothing is yours, the exit is yours. You will not always win the room. You will always keep your crown. Handling no the unfair way again, because this is where empires grow. They decline. You do not chase. Clarify. If cost remains the priority, X fits. Withdraw. No follow-ups, no proof drops. Vanish into results. Publish. Ship a case study. X by Y under Z. No names, no heat. Stone. If blank, your calendar is a liar. Fix it tomorrow. Edge cases, government, regulated procurement, legacy enterprise with immovable paper. You still move something. When the contract is theirs, the calendar is yours. When the calendar is theirs, the scope is yours. When the scope is theirs, the price is yours. When nothing is yours, the exit is yours. You will not always win the room. You always keep your crown.
Appear generous. Be scheduled. Appear flexible. Be welded to mission. You are not obligated to fight on the front lawn they manicured for your defeat. You will tunnel. You will flank. You will invite them into a room with your carpet, your clock, your bill. And when you slip, because you're human, you will not drown in shame. You will repair inside 24 hours. Raise the floor. Add the clause. Shut the corridor. End the thread. Publish the outcome. Say the creed one more time so your nervous system hears it in your bones. I don't sell my peace to buy your approval. I don't sell my hours to buy your hope. I don't sell my standards to buy your story. I choose to reign. I choose timing. Exhale. Lower your pitch by a note. Count 5. Let the silence close behind it like a vault door. You wanted the dark advantage. It is not a trick. It is a temperament enforced by rules anyone can read and few can hold. From this moment, you will not audition for committees without oxygen. You will not explain process without deposit. You will not rush without a multiplier. You will not meet without a signer. You will not extend offers that don't expire. You will not end meetings late. You will not defend your name with paragraphs when outcomes exist. You will not compete fairly in a rigged game. You will change the board or walk away with your crown. Final command. Like this video if you're done playing on floors built to make you small. Subscribe if you're ready to become the kind of person they can't rush, can't grind down, and can never beat on their terms, because you never play there. Because this isn't self-help. This is war.